Hey, how's it going, Keith? So, I gotta make this really quick. So, there's only one thing I want to talk about, and that is the 11 series of GPU that's coming out, hopefully, by Christmas. And that's right, I'm talking about the one subject I can't talk to you personally about because you really not versed in this word like I am. So, this is to the viewers. So, Keith, I'll see you tomorrow's video. Have a good time. Have a good time. Okay, viewers. So the specifications came out a couple weeks ago, and I should have talked about it on here, but I was more worried to talk about what Keith wanted to, keep the conversation just going between me and Keith. But I want to talk to you now, so I gotta make this quick. So one thing that's interesting to me is the base clock is 1405 megahertz, which is interesting because that is lower than the current generation's 10 series, which that's around 1410 megahertz. But they're getting more out of it. I'm guessing it's a new architecture, Volta, which I believe we're currently on Pascal right now. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. The release date is still unknown. Same with the production status. And by the link I'm having, I will have in the link down below, if I remember. Probably I won't, but I'll try to. Another thing that's interesting to me is the memory clock is still going up. It's that interesting to me because I was expecting about 5 years ago, around this time, that memory speed on GPUs would start to stagnate, but it's still going up. But you can boost the GPU if you hit Silicon Gold, if you hit the Silicon Lottery, to around 1582 megahertz, which is freaking awesome. That has gone up from the current generation. It's going up again from GDDR5 to GDDR6, which the last two generations were on GDDR5. And we don't know anything about the die size, but the process size is 12 nanometers, which is still about the same from the 10 series. And everything else you should be able to figure out. Nothing much is really changing in the 11 series, which I'm actually kind of disappointed with NVidea on this. I was expected, especially with the release of the new Ryzen processors, that NVIDIA would really get up off their asses and start actually making more and more progressions in their GeForce line. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because Radeon has an advantage that NVIDIA doesn't. Radeon is still owned by AMD, the creators of Ryzen. And with the big leap that the original Ryzen line made out of the A5 chips that Ryzen was putting out, or the A10 chips, they were putting out, it was a hell of a freaking leap for AMD. These, which lit the fire under Intel's buttocks. I'm surprised this really hasn't done anything to NVIDIA, because of the fact that, like I said, AMD does own Radeon. NVIDIA, do something. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only guy out here who votes green when it comes to when it comes to graphics cards. I'm personally tired of every year just getting that minuscule update on that FPS counter. And now learning that you're about to clock lower than you did the generation before, does kind of sadden me for being a proud Team Green. Because Radeons are making leaps in progression. So I know what Team Red is doing. What is Team Green doing? I'll see you tomorrow, Keith, DFTBA.